Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're digging into something really fascinating. The story of a single building in Brownwood, Texas. Its first and only skyscraper hotel.
That's right. And it's more than just bricks and mortar, isn't it? It's really a window into, well, almost a century of that community's life.
Exactly. We've got historical accounts, newspaper clippings, but also these incredible community memories that really bring it to life.
A real mix, yeah.
And our mission, really, is to see how this one building sort of mirrored the town's hopes, its social scene, and eventually some pretty big changes from this, bustling center to, well, what it is now.
An empty shell, sadly.
Yeah. But let's start at the beginning because it's kind of wild. Okay, picture this. Small town Texas, 1929.
Right on the edge of the Great Depression.
And they decide, let's build a 12-story skyscraper with radios in every single room.
Which was, incredibly high-tech for the time. Really forward-thinking. It shows the sheer, audacity of the vision these Brownwood businessmen had back in November 29.
A modern, fireproof hotel? They weren't messing around.
Not at all. And things moved fast.
So how fast are we talking? From idea to actual construction?
Incredibly fast. The plan was announced in November 29, and by January 1930, just 2 months later, they had a contractor, J.O. Everett and Company, out of Dallas.
Wow.
Yeah, and the bids were pushing $375,000. That's a serious amount of money for 1930.
Huge sum back then.
Yeah.
And who was behind the design?
That was Wyatt C. Hendrick from Fort Worth. He was the architect, but also the head of the corporation, Hotel Brownwood, Inc., so he was really driving it.
Okay, so the contract signed in January. When did they actually start building?
They broke ground in February 1930, and the pace, it was something else.
People must have been watching it constantly.
Oh, absolutely. By July, just 5 months later, they already had 7 floors up. You have to imagine, for the folks in Brownwood, seeing this thing climb higher and higher, it was probably pretty amazing.
A real spectacle. Nothing like it before.
Exactly. Their goal was to finish by November, and remarkably, they actually did it.
So all 12 floors, done by November 1930. That includes the grand ballroom on the top floor.
Yep, the whole thing, fully furnished, too. They had the coffee shop ready, the beauty shop, the barber shop. It was turnkey, basically.
Incredible. So how did they celebrate this achievement? It must have been a big party.
It was a huge deal for Brownwood. The official grand opening was Friday, November 21st, 1930. They held a grand opening and dance.
How much to get in?
$3.50, which, again, wasn't cheap back then, but it was the event.
I bet. And it had a specific address, right? Like the shops had their own numbers.
Yeah. The main hotel was 307 East Baker, the barber shop was 311 East Baker, and the coffee shop was around the corner at 204 Fisk. It really established its presence downtown immediately.
And it sounds like it became part of the town's DNA almost overnight, not just for visitors.
Oh, definitely not just for visitors. That's what's so interesting. It instantly became like the hub for civic life.
How so?
Well, the office spaces in the hotel. They were snapped up immediately by groups like the Kiwanis Club, the Lions Club, the Rotary Club.
Really?
Yeah, if you look at the 1931 city directory for Brownwood, they all list the Hotel Brownwood as their address. That tells you something about how central it became right away.
That really does paint a picture.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a place for meetings, it was the place for any big event.
Exactly. It cemented that reputation almost instantly. For example, December 1931, the Coggan Girls School Group held a big banquet there for the football team.
Okay.
It just became the default. Any important civic dinner, school function, club banquet, it happened at the Hotel Brownwood.
And this reach, it went beyond just Brownwood itself.
Absolutely. It wasn't just a local thing. Regional groups like the West Texas Chamber of Commerce started holding their annual meetings and banquets there.
So it put Brownwood on the map regionally.
You could say that, yeah. Even state-level political conventions and awards ceremonies were booked there pretty quickly. They had these, roomy and modern meeting rooms and halls, as the sources say. It boosted the town's profile.
So this wasn't just a brief moment of glory. This hotel stayed central for a long time.
Oh, for decades.
Right.
Through the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, well into the 1960s, really. If you were visiting Brownwood, the Hotel Brownwood was the place to stay. It was where things happened.
It really defined an era for the town.
It truly did. It represented Brownwood's image, its prosperity and connection to the wider world.
But like you said, things change. That golden era couldn't last forever. What started the shift?
Well, by the mid-1960s, it was operating under a different name, the Browntowner Motor Inn. And, it was just getting old. Profitability started to decline.
Was it just the building aging?
That was part of it, sure, but it was also bigger trends. Think about the rise of motels along the new highways. People weren't always going downtown anymore.
Right. Travel patterns were changing. The interstates were pulling people away.
Exactly. So by the late 60s, it just wasn't the desirable spot for lodging or big functions like it used to be. Its time as a premier hotel was kind of coming to an end.
Which could have been the end of the story, but it took a really unexpected turn, didn't it?
It really did, a surprising second act. In December 1968, the Sid W. Richardson Foundation stepped in and bought the building.
For what purpose? To run it as a hotel?
No, and this is the twist. They bought it as a gift for Howard Payne College.
The local college.
Yep. The idea was to convert it into housing for male students, a pretty dramatic change for a 12-story hotel.
Wow, converting a 180-room hotel into a dorm. That must have been quite a project.
It was. But they did it surprisingly quickly. It was only about 5 blocks from the campus, which helped. Within just a few months, it was converted.
And it got a new name.
It did. It was renamed Sid Richardson Hall after the foundation's namesake.
So this grand building, site of balls and conventions, became a college dorm. How long did that phase last?
Yeah. It actually had a pretty long run as a dorm. Sid Richardson Hall housed Howard Payne students right up until 1986, so nearly 20 years.
Almost 2 decades. And what happened in '86?
That fall, there was a big shuffle in the dorms on campus. Sid Richardson Hall was officially closed as a dorm.
Where did the students go?
The male students moved over to Jennings Hall, and the women who had been in Jennings Hall, they moved into Vida Hodge Hall. It was sort of a domino effect, and the old hotel was the one left empty.
The end of its functional life, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And since 1986, well, it's just been sitting there.
Abandoned.
Yeah, empty, deteriorating, no real purpose, just standing there kind of decaying, which is how it is today.
It's sad to think about. You hear things, though, right? Rumors pop up every now and then about someone buying it.
Oh, all the time. Every few years you hear whispers, someone's going to buy it, restore it to its former glory.
But it never seems to happen. Why do those plans always seem to fall through?
It's usually one of two things, seems like. Either the actual negotiations just collapse for whatever reason, or maybe more often the cost is just too high.
The cost of fixing it up.
Exactly. You're talking about major issues, likely asbestos, lead paint. The abatement for that stuff is incredibly expensive. Getting it back up to code, making it functional again. The numbers often just don't work out for developers.
It's a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
But people in Brownwood still care about it, don't they?
Oh, deeply. There's a real sense of affection for it, even in its current state. A lot of residents would absolutely love to see it restored.
Maybe get it designated as historic.
That's the dream for many, yeah. They point to other towns where similar old hotels have been saved and repurposed. They know it can be done. You know, it just takes the right circumstances, the right funding.
And the personal connections are still so strong. We saw that looking at, like, the PVGS Facebook page for Brownwood history. The memories just pour out.
It's incredible, isn't it? People talking about their high school proms there, dancing in the ballroom to big bands.
Yeah. And soldiers staying there during World War II. Couples getting married there, spending their honeymoons.
It touched so many lives across different generations. You really feel the weight of that history, the elegance it once had through those stories.
So here it stands today. This grand old building, a bit of a lady in distress, as one source put it. What's the final word on its future?
Honestly, only time will tell. It's the unfortunate truth for abandoned buildings. They tend to degrade over time. It's a race against neglect, really.
You just hope for a better ending for it.
You really do. We wish that grand old lady a better fate than just crumbling away.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Mm-mm.
When you look at the whole story arc of the Hotel Brownwood, from this shining symbol of progress and community pride.
To an empty shell.
Yeah. What does that tell us about how quickly things like status and purpose can change, not just for buildings, but maybe for whole communities too?
It's a tough question. How do those big dreams from the past hold up against today's reality?
And what does it take for a place to maybe reinvent itself when one of the major symbols fades like that? Something definitely worth thinking about.